Okay. I think we've got most everyone in. Oh, there's Mr. Adu. Adu. All right. So let me just briefly go over everything. We are going to have a quiz on Thursday on traversals, just 3 questions, should be easy. We are working on our U5 L13 to 17 hackathon. Step 6, written responses, if we're lucky. What is due is your U5 L13 to 17 hackathon. That is due on March 1st. So we have about another week with this. Make sure to get your partners' emails so that you can stay in touch. Okay? What is our objective or goal? To let everyone in. We're all excited to get any last people before we open our breakout rooms. So our objective or goal is that you will be able to create programming patterns using lists, arrays, those are the same things, an array is just a list, loops and traversals to develop a functioning app together with a partner by following the activity guide and using the information that we have learned during the unit. Okay? So just starting off, anyone have problems, issues, questions, pent-up frustration from your last breakout room? Trust me, I had that in the last one. Okay, so we are going in. Let's just go through the basics. You're working with a partner. If you are in multiple rooms with more than 2, please try and make sure that everyone has a job. I was in a room today and no one had even talked about what roles everyone was going to do. Make sure everyone has a role on your project. Are you a designer or a programmer? Even if you are a weak programmer, working with a good programmer is going to really help you learn. The reason we are doing the hackathon is to learn from each other. Watching other people code will stretch you. People do not code the same way. I used to be a ski instructor and we'd make people do cat and mouse. You have to ski right on the tails of the person in front of you. People do not turn where you would turn. People do not code the way you would code. Seeing someone else and how they think through it can help expand the way you perceive these things. You are both responsible for the overall project, but you will focus on different parts at any given time. After you finish the project, you will individually complete a written response that will help you practice for the create performance task. Okay, this is something I have emphasized. We have 2 pieces. I'm just going to show everyone for a moment in our module. Here is the hackathon activity guide and written response. I added that on here. So here is the activity guide. Here is the written response. They both look like a worksheet, right? There's the written response. What I would like you to do is copy your written response and just paste it on the bottom of the activity guide. That way you'll only have one thing to turn in. You can't turn 2 things into a assignment. So let me know if anyone has problems with that and I will work with you. But ideally, just copy and paste your written response onto the bottom of your activity guide. The points are all in there, all right? Okay, so that is what the written response is. The written response is also what you will be being asked by the AP. So this is practice. Remember, when you're commenting on things, what is it? How does it work? What does it do? It counts likes up, that kind of thing. Okay, remember, you need 3 screens at least. All screens easily navigated, a data set used in a meaningful way towards the program's purpose. At least one list is traversed using map, reduce, or filter to indicate which with a comment in a meaningful way towards the app purpose. Programming constructs. You will have variables, functions, conditionals, lists, and loops in your program. All functions include comments to explain their purpose and how they work. I was saying ideally you should be putting comments on your on events too. Somebody said, if it only says to put them on functions, do we have to put them on events? If it's only saying functions, I am not going to ding you. But typically, you are putting comments on functions and on events. I went through all the U5 L8 apps. Still, a third of them are missing their comments. And otherwise, they're beautiful apps. So guys, remember, every app gets comments. All element IDs have meaningful names, not screen 1, screen 2, button 1, button 2, and there are no errors in your code. Just to review, ideally, you have chosen a data set. You have figured out that you are going to filter, map, or reduce that data set. Remember what these are. These might be questions on your traversal. How do you filter, map, or reduce something? Then you're going to create your prototype. And the reason I don't have an artificial background is so I can show you my epic prototypes. These are not complex. They are very simple and rudimentary. The idea is I was showing this is a age of college app that you can see what colleges were created in the 1700s, the 1800s, or the 1900s. So I have a title and I have 3 buttons, 1700, 1800, 1900. When I click the 1700 button, it takes me, I input click, it outputs the 1700 screen that has all the colleges from the 1700s on it. It also has a return button that takes me back to my home screen. These are very simple. Just take a picture of it, put it in your app, in your activity guide. All right. Step 4, prepare to build your app. Fill out the tables 4 through 6. Hopefully you've all gotten that done. 5 is the test screens with a partner. Quickly build versions of the screens which include all elements with their proper element IDs, but do not worry about the design at all. For my app, all I needed was 3 buttons and a text box. That's all, right? It didn't matter what those buttons were. I just, I had a 1700, 1800, 1900. Okay. This is purely to allow the programmer the ability to test their code as they go along. Okay. Make sure everyone has a role. Someone is the programmer working on the code. Someone is the designer working on the user interface. If you have 3 people, if you have 4 people, make sure that people have a job that's going to be helping you. Okay. Also, the idea that if someone is not a great coder, working with the good coder on the code might be a great thing to do to help you become a better coder. Thank you for the support, good coders. Okay, what we started on last time was this: continue to build. Programmers use the table to guide you in adding programming statements to your program. Designers use the chart to guide you in adding screens, elements to your program. You can work on separate computers. When you have finished screens, your partner should delete the test screens and then import the finished screens. Do not delete all your screens before adding a blank screen. Note, if the screens are not deleted before importing the project, you will get an error code because the element IDs in your cursory screen and your final screens are the same, and it is going to cause your computer consternation. So here we are. I'm going to show how to do this. This is very confusing to a lot of people. It's really straightforward. Okay, first of all, the only person that is receiving new screens is the programmer. The designer will have made the screens in code.org, all right? So the programmer, first thing they do is they add a blank screen. Then they delete all the old temp project screens, those cursory ones with just the button. Okay, I added a blank screen, I get rid of all the others. Then click the screen drop-down menu and click Import Screen. When Import Screen pops up, all it is asking for is the link to your partner's app. So the designer, click to share your project, copy the link and send it to the programmer. All the programmer is going to do is hit Import Screen and drop that link in there, and your screens are going to import. Okay? Paste the link from the designer in, you'll see, select to import all of the screens, delete the blank screen, set the home screen to be the default screen. Hint, go to design mode and click on the screen. All right, I am going to demonstrate this because a lot of people seem to have issues. Okay, so if I am in fabulouscode.org and I am in design, all right, so here we are. This is your app. I am in the hackathon. If I need to click on design mode, and then I need to click on the drop down. I can import a screen, or I can create a new screen. When I want to make my blank screen, I just click new screen. Boom, gives me a new screen. When I click import screen, it just wants me to drop the link to their app in here. Then it will import all the screens. How do you get the link to your app? Okay, all you need to do is click share. When you click share, you're going to get a link and you're just going to email that to your partner. You could put it in the chat, but they need to copy it out and drop it in. So when I click import screens, hang on, I need to be in design mode, right? Import screen, it just pops this up and I put that link in there and hit next, and it will do it. Okay. Does everyone understand how you are importing your screens now? You're going to put a blank screen in, you're going to delete the temp ones out, then you're going to add the new screens, and then you delete that last blank screen. For your code, typically you could just send that link to your partner, and then when they hit remix, let me show you that. This button here, remix, when you share an app with someone, typically the remix button will always be there. Remix turns it from their app into your app. It allows you to access that code. That's why you like it. Okay? So if your partner gave you their app through a link, you could hit remix or whatever. You're going to put it in text mode, copy all the code, and either paste it into your app or just paste it in a Google Doc and share it with your partner. They'll copy it and paste it into their app. It seems like sharing the app would be just as easy. But like everything, there's not one set way to do this. So you need to do what works for you. All right? Sorry to not be presenting. So on your individual computer, have one tab with the project and one tab with your written response. And that way you can look at your project and then write your answer, and look at your project and write your answer. On your written response, you will need to take screenshots of code segments. What's a code segment? A collection of program statements that are a part of a program. I think it's a little easier to see over here on the right. These are just two big functions with their comments, okay? Is it a segment or is it the whole thing? Well, it starts at line 23 and ends at 43. So somehow this is a segment from inside a program, all right? That is what a code segment is, just a piece of a program. Usually it is not going to do something like break a function in half. You're going to have whole pieces, all right? Complete the written response in class or for homework. So if by chance you finish your app today, you can just start working on the written responses. If you do not finish your app today, Make sure you have your partner's email, and you're going to finish over the next week, and you're going to have to do the written responses as homework at home. Okay? Your project is going to be in code.org. You do not need to give that to me. I will find it. What you do need to turn into Canvas is your planning guide, and ideally you have attached your written response to it. Otherwise, again, I will be sending you plaintive notes saying, where's your written response? Okay. So for the last thing, get the share link from code.org for your app. Add the link to our class discussion. When we are done in a week, we will pick 3 of our favorite apps from the discussion and like them, okay? So let me just quickly show where that is in the module. If I go back, here we are, right down here, hackathon voting. It's just one of these discussions. You're gonna drop that link to your app in here and put your name on it, and then everyone else can look at all the different apps and say which ones they like the best. And we'll try and figure out a winner or a top 3. Okay, Mr. Swift has talked himself out, which is amazing. Now, help. Anyone have questions, problems, issues?
I just have a question about partners. Even if we like talked about the app together and stuff, like we can't turn in our own work. We have to turn in the exact same app.
You're copying the code. One person is coding it, the other person is doing the user interface. You're not supposed to be both doing all the work. The idea is to learn how to pair code. This is true pair coding, where one person has their hands on the keyboard and the other person is trying to help them, be the pilot. Or that's what the designer will do once they get done with the design. Okay, so ideally, you are just going to be copying that code and dropping it in so that you will both have an identical app. All right, and since you have the screens, it's just a do-si-do. All right, I am opening the rooms. We will be done at 2:40. We have 40 minutes. Let me know if you have problems. Daniel and On.
Mr. Swift, I have a question about my grades.
Hang on. Go ahead, Orion.
I have a question about my grades.
I can't be answering questions on grades right now. You can email me.
Okay.
Okay, I just need to make sure that everyone gets into a room. So On and Daniel, do you remember what rooms you were in, or were you ever in rooms?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Barely.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was absent last week, so I might have missed something.
Okay,
Sorry.
I thought so. Daniel, were you able to do this? Were you in a room earlier?
My internet cut out last class, so I couldn't get in. My internet cut out the last class.
Okay, but what about the time before that?
I don't remember.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna put you both in a room with Florian and we'll talk, all right?
Okay.
Sure.
Let me see. Oy. There he is. Hi, Andrew. Let's see if we can get you where you belong.
Do you want me to just join the breakout room?
What's that?
Do you want me to just join the breakout room that I'm supposed to?
Yes.
Okay. Wait.
You've got some extras in there, but your partner will be excited to see you.
Wait. Can you send out like?
Hang on, I can move you. Where?
I think I'm 3.
Yeah, you're supposed to be in 3.
Can you move me to 3?
Hang on. So where is? Why? Hang on. It's fighting me. It's not letting me. It's just so annoying.
Wait, should I try to leave the Zoom and then rejoin, and maybe it'll?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, here, 1 second. I'm gonna do that anyway. I think on my own. Let me try this.
Okay.
It's always fun. I'm putting you in the waiting room. I admit you. No.
Oh, now I have the option to join a breakout room. But last time I
Okay.
tried to join, it kicked me out. So if I get kicked out again, I guess I'll just try to join.
You should be in 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come in and say hello. Aha. All right, you get popped out?
Yeah, sorry, I got kicked out.
No, you apologize to me.
Thank you.
I get my Zoom crashes, does just as many evil things as yours does. The only weird thing is it's not asking you to join your breakout room.
Oh, yeah, it is. I'll join it right now.
Perfect.
Thank you.
No worries.
You're muted.
Aren't I? Yes, I am. Anybody having particular problems or issues? I know I had one team that had a variable that if they changed the variable, it worked, but the variable that they had wasn't working. And we couldn't figure that out. So I'm going to a higher power. Try and keep your code as simple as you can is my recommendation. I had one team that was trying to pull all of the Emmy Awards. And I said, why not think about like best song and best album? Don't make it too complex. I am not grading you on complexity here. We just want it to work. Okay? Anybody questions? We are done. It is 2:40. You are free to go. Thank you so much for supporting each other. Thank you for helping your classmates. It really means a lot to me.
Thank you, Mr. Swift.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Today it was a crazy day.